text it. I can text it to you. Text it would be great. Let me see if this. Right. Should be live.
Okay, great. Okay, so we are at 5:36. We're going to call the annual district meeting to order. First order of business is we need a motion on the floor to nominate someone the chairman of the annual district meeting.
I make a motion to nominate John Belafonte as chairman of the meeting.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, so thank you.
And I think, again, in an effort to make this meeting go somewhat rapidly, we will just do a vote by show of hands. And I would just only ask that the people on the Zoom, Mr. Davis, since your camera is off, I will call for your vote. But if the others could just hold their hands up enough that I can see. Mr. Reed, if it's unsafe for you, then well, you can give us a nod, I guess. But I think that will be easiest. So if you just want to call for a vote, those in favor? And Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So now we need a motion to close the nominations for chairperson.
I'll make a motion to close nominations for chairperson.
I'll
for the
second
annual
that.
District team.
Call that vote.
So those in favor? They're here.
Yes.
And Mr. Davis. Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now we need a motion to nominate someone to be the secretary of the district unit. I'll nominate Pat Cardoza.
A second.
Mr. Brown seconds.
And those in favor for Pat Cardozo as secretary of the meeting, please show with your hands.
I'm a yes on that too.
Okay, now we need a motion to close the nomination secretary of the annual district meeting. So
Second.
Covered. And those in favor to close the nominations for secretary, please show with your hands. And Mr. Davis.
Yes.
The meeting to order officially at 5:38. The first order of business is there any public comment? Ms. Eichler, Dr. Byers?
No, Ms. Perro did not receive any public comment by 2:00 p.m. today.
Okay, thank you. The second order of business is we are going to hear from Dr. Byers regarding the
All right, so we will present to you hopefully for one final time the 2021-2022 board adopted budget. Again, reminding everybody that the budget process is a long, complicated endeavor that starts back in usually October. When we start collecting budget plans and ideas from department chairs and from the school buildings. As we do that, we attend to several different things at the first level, that being a fiscal responsibility to the taxpayers of Bethany, Orange, and Woodbridge, attending to federal and state mandates, keeping in mind the board's vision, mission, and goals, looking at those school and department requests, looking at our contractual obligations, and attending to providing the 3 A's of excellence that Amity is known for. Once we get all that initial information in, the administrative team meets during the months of November and December to sort of cull the budget, looking for places where we can be more efficient, looking to eliminate redundancies. And honestly, this year we were able to do some of that work well into the spring as we looked at grant opportunities that came forward as a result of the pandemic. In about January, I do the first presentation of the superintendent's budget, in keeping in mind that between the top layer, where we started around 7%, the first go round with the budget was about 4.75%. And when we present it to the Board of Education and then out to the town finance committees, we get feedback from board members as well as finance committee members. And so we go and look for further reductions that ultimately result in the budget that the board votes on and adopts in March. And we'll talk about what that budget is in a minute. But keeping in mind what an Amity budget provides, again, we go back to our foundational 3As and looking first at academics and the learning that takes place. Amity offers a phenomenal educational program. This is just a snapshot of some of the things that an Amity budget will provide for our students. The first and foremost being that we are the top school district in New Haven County, and we are the 6th ranked school district in the entire state of Connecticut. We offer a lot of advanced educational opportunities, including advanced placement classes, early college experience, science research project, and a very diverse program of studies. We offer a senior service learning program or a senior interest project to our 12th graders, typically beginning in a couple of weeks, going to the end of the year. We have college partnerships with area colleges such as Southern and Gateway, where students can take collegiate level classes as part of their high school transcript. We have a pre-apprenticeship manufacturing programs, opportunities for community service, student-led organizations and clubs, which have continued to operate during our virtual learning environment. This year, we had 9 National Merit Scholar finalists and about a 95% graduation rate for our high school students. The second area is in athletics, and again, we offer an incredibly robust athletic program. Keeping in mind that we were limited by COVID-19 during the fall and winter, we were able to have about 800 athletes that participated in those sports. Now that we are in springtime and we are operating not only our high school sports, but as our middle school sports as well, we have over 650 student athletes and 32 teams running. Throughout this year, we have had league championships, divisional championships, all state student athletes, all SCC athletes, and SCC coaches of the year. And I believe we already have more of them in this school year than we did in last school year. And we still have spring yet to finish up. And finally, in the last area of our A's is the area of our arts. We offer musical arts where we have continued to have ensemble performances, although they've been a little bit more virtual, as well as adjudication opportunities for our students. Our visual arts students have continued to participate in the scholastic arts competitions. We have had film students receive honors and recognition, and we have continued with the Amity Creative Theater in their virtual production of It's a Wonderful Life, and in the spring musical, which will be performed live in June under the tent at the high school. So the Board of Education and the Amity Finance Committee approved a budget in March that represents a 1.8% increase over the current year budget. But because this increase is divided out to the towns based on their student enrollment, this budget actually is less next year for the town of Bethany than the current year's budget. For the town of Orange, it goes up by less than 1%. For the town of Woodbridge, because they have such an increase in enrollment coming to us next year, the budget goes up 3.3%. And then you'll see we get an increase in our other revenues, which is primarily federal grant funding. When you consider that we returned money to the towns at the end of last year, the money that we've returned to the towns is actually more than the money that we're asking for in next year's budget. Why did we return money to the towns? Well, we closed our schools in March and we missed essentially a third of our school year. And a lot of the things that we would have spent the money on for our educational program, we didn't have to do because we were operating in a fully virtual and remote learning environment. So we did have money to give back to the towns at the end of last school year. What the budget supports that's a little different than what we currently have right now is a new middle school special education program where we will be able to return students from out of district placements back into our home district in Amity, and they can be provided with the services and the supports they need in the school with their peers. We will complete our implementation of one-to-one devices for all of our students in grades 7 through 12. We will update our textbook resources in both digital as well as sort of hard copy format. Textbook purchases were removed from the budget last year in an attempt to keep our budget lower. So we're really playing catch up in terms of providing those instructional materials to our students and staff. We are realigning our middle school literacy program with a readers writers workshop model. We have new classes in unified science and English at the high school. And we have some significant improvements to our buildings and grounds, some of which again were delayed last year because in order to keep the budget lower, but now we're kind of at a critical point where we need to put those into play. So the referendum, I'm hoping that the meeting ends successfully, will be tomorrow. And it will be anticipated to be in-person voting. It's probably a little bit late now to request an absentee ballot from the town clerk, but the referendum is tomorrow, and thank you for supporting Amity and the students.
Thank you, Dr. Byers. Again, thank you and Ms. Loomis and your teams for all the hard work you've done. This is a process that starts back in October and proceeds every month, and takes a lot of hard work and a little magic too to make it work out, and to do this all during this pandemic with all of the other things you have to deal with and the assumptions you have to make it is really amazing. So I feel it's a really fair budget. It's a good budget. It gives us what we need. It gives the students what we need, what they need, and it's going to keep us on the path that we expect and the community expects us to stay on. So again, thanks for all your hard work, and we really appreciate it. Thanks also to the board, because there's a lot of work that goes on with the board, with their opinion and their say and what they think, and all the ideas that come out during these meetings for these months. So I just want to thank every one of you for all the hard work that you do and work together to come up with this that we could present proudly. So thanks again, everyone. We appreciate that. So at this time, we can make a motion. Someone can make a motion to adjourn to a machine ballot vote. There's, as written on the bottom of the page, if someone would like to make that motion.
I don't have it in front of me, but I'll make the motion.
Okay, so that would be a motion to adjourn to a machine ballot vote to be held in the towns of Bethany, Orange, and Woodbridge on Tuesday, May 5th, 2021, from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m.
That should be Wednesday.
Oh,
Wednesday,
yes.
May 5th.
It does. Yes, Wednesday. Okay, I correct myself. Wednesday, May 5th, 2021, from 6 till 8 p.m. 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Ms. Eichler, thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
And we need to vote now.
Yes, so all of those who are in favor of moving to referendum, please indicate your support by a show of hands. And Mr. Davis,
I am a yes.
very much.
That passes. Thank you. If no one has anything else, we can adjourn our meeting and move on to our facilities meeting.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Ms. Eichler.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Chris.
Chris, Mr. Brown, thank you.
And all of those in favor of adjourning at 5:50 p.m. And Mr. Davis.
Yes for me on that one too.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you for sending that late.